I'm Jordan Hunt, and today for the persuasive topic, I have chosen children and electronic devices. These electronic devices obviously range from cell phones, iPads, tablets, laptops, and gaming consoles. I support giving and letting children use these electronic devices regardless of age. Obviously, material should be sensitive and age restricted. When doing research for this, there's many pros and cons, and here's some of the pros and cons that I've chosen. The amount of information that children are able to get their hands on for research papers is limitless and can almost be done anywhere. Using electronic devices has given the children ease of access when needing information. When research is needed for school, children no longer need to have a desktop computer at home to do this research. They can use mom's phone, dad's phone, tablet, any laptop. It makes everything a little bit easier whenever they need to do research instead of having maybe one desktop at home. Another pro is the websites and apps that are made for learning purposes for children. I know that NASA has live camera feeds that are useful for science projects, as well as certain animal habitats that are on live camera feeds for the same purpose, or as well as just for letting the children watch those. There are certain apps, such as a Tiny Hands app, which is a memory game, which allows children to play memory and learn different shapes, colors, animals. There's also Fisher-Price apps that help children learn certain limbs of the body, such as arm, leg, ear, eye, nose. And then there's websites such as ABC Mouse, which help children with counting, alphabet letters, shapes, colors, and a vast variety of other things that children are learning in school and anything else that they might be having trouble with. Another pro to having electronic devices being able to go anywhere and connect to one another is Skype and FaceTime. Skype and FaceTime are nice to have and allow children to use to keep in touch with relatives who might not live as close and they might not see as often otherwise. Also, this is very useful for if a parent is on a business trip and might be gone for a couple of days and they want to see their parent, and also if a parent is deployed, it's also nice to have those things so they can see their parent. One of the older, I guess you call it myths, is that gamers are usually antisocial because they game too much, but a new study has found that gaming enhanced the social activity and encouraged socialization between players rather than discouraging it. Dr. Nick Taylor of North Carolina State University says, "We found that gamers were often exhibiting many social behaviors at once. Watching games, talking, chatting online, and gaming didn't eliminate social interaction, it supplemented it." And then while researching the cons, the biggest one that stood out the most was violence, which is a big topic that obviously with the violent games and video content that can be viewed, the American Academy of Adolescent and Child Psychiatry says, "Studies of children exposed to violence have shown that they can become immune or numb to the horror of violence, imitate the violence that they see, and show more aggressive behavior with greater exposure to this violence." And rolling right after that is the health concerns that come along with electronic devices. One of the health concerns is childhood obesity, and it's because children are more likely to be obese due to the very little amount of activity that comes along with using the electronic devices. The other major health concern they had was the irregular sleep patterns, which is mostly caused by having a television in the children's bedroom. And then that also was a domino effect with the irregular sleep patterns early into not getting enough sleep, which meant not performing as well in school. And then another big one for using electronic devices was cyber predators. While not a significant threat to younger children, as children get older, they tend to develop more of the socialness on the electronic devices, and the making sure that the cyber predators are not given information that is sensitive, so teaching children not to give out information that is sensitive or should be given to anyone. And then while doing this research, there's a loose guideline that I have found online. Obviously it gives the developmental age of the children, how much time daily should be given, and then there's different categories such as non-violent TV, handheld devices, non-violent video games, violent video games, and then online violent video games. And like I said, this is obviously just a loose guideline. Obviously parents will let their children do what the parents want their children to do, and after all is said and done, I'm still for letting children use electronic devices as long as the child is monitored and taught as they grow. I see no reason to think why it would be unacceptable, but of course it's, again, like I said, when I was talking about this table here, it always goes back to what the parent thinks is right for their child. Some of the sources that I cited are globalstudentnetwork.com, cheatsheet.com, and huffingtonpost.com.